Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Tuesday, the 30th of April, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to focus on the news. I'm going to focus on something else, and I'm going to look back at all the lies that Meghan Markle has told. And believe me, there have been plenty that have proven to be lies. There's also plenty that haven't been proven to be lies, but have been speculated as lies. So buckle in, busters. This is going to be a bumpy ride. But first of all, I'm going to ask you, the listener, what you think the biggest lie has been since Meghan Markle and Prince Harry became a public couple. Because there's been, as I've said, plenty to be discussed, but I would like your own personal opinion as what has been the most unforgivable lie. Or fib. We say fib in the UK. Does anybody else say fib? Well, I guess a fib is just a little white lie, whereas a lie is a big fat lie. For me, the biggest lie, fabrication, or fib that was ever uttered from her mouth was the implication that the royal family was racist, because this had a detrimental effect on the monarchy and a UK as a whole. This was said on Oprah, and it was the whole wow, wow, wow moment. This particular fabrication was extremely damaging. Reverberations of who's the royal racist literally ping-ponged around the world. And then later on, Harry came out and said, no, we didn't accuse the royal family of being racist. The British media did. So that's solidifying the fact that he knows that what was said was wrong. He can't take accountability for the fact that Meghan Markle implied that there were conversations surrounding Archie's skin colour. She didn't actually overhear these. It was via Harry, so it was second-hand learning of the knowledge of the conversation, and then felt it was absolutely 100% right to then spout this on global telly. This then got amplified and then raised its ugly head again last year when Omid Scooby released his book. God, what was it called? Oh, do you know what? It made such an impact. The name has just... Endgame, that's right, Endgame. Oh, God. It's no Finding Freedom, was it? Well, that was an absolute shit show, to be perfectly honest. Sorry for swearing. Sorry, I don't often swear on this channel, but it was an absolute shit show. If you don't know what I'm talking about, oh God. It seems that the Dutch copy of Endgame actually named the two royal racists, and the fallout was monumentous. Now, during Oprah, there was also some more fibbies told, and that was that Archie is not a prince, even though that this would have been explained to Harry and Meghan, that he automatically doesn't get prince until his grandfather, Charles, ascends to the throne. And when Charles did ascend to the throne and became King Charles, Archie and Lilibet, the children that we never see, became prince and princess. During that interview, we also had the fact that Meghan implied, no, she didn't imply, she actually stated that they got married 3 days before their wedding in a private ceremony, when in fact the Archbishop of Canterbury had to come out and say, no, that's not happened. It was a rehearsal. Imagine that. The Archbishop of Canterbury having to come out and say that you've lied. She also claimed that she hadn't seen Samantha in 20 years, when in fact she had. Maybe she just forgot. I don't know. She also claimed during that interview that she couldn't go anywhere, that she was literally locked up and couldn't go anywhere because her passport was taken and she couldn't drive and blah, blah, blah. Well, that turned out to be a lie because, as it's been proven, she took multiple private trips. Must have used a passport for those, because the only person in this country that doesn't need a passport is our monarch. Let's not forget the doozy that she wasn't giving any training when she joined the royal family. She also claimed that she didn't know the national anthem and she had to Google it. That she was forbidden to wear bright colours, when there's actual literal evidence that that's not the case. And the fact that when that was broadcast, the royal family came out as one at the Carol concert wearing bright colours. Colours was chef's kiss. Then we have the weird surroundings of Archie's birth. Now this is where those little nuggets of doubt start to seep in, and I know that everybody has various different opinions on whether or not Meghan Markle used a surrogate. many celebrities have come out and said that they have used a surrogate, and many celebrities have refused to confirm or deny the allegations and rumours that they indeed used a surrogate. Beyonce is a fine example of that. She was hounded because of that flopped belly incident when she sat down at an interview. And there is documented evidence out there that really does raise concerns about the legitimacy of whether or not Meghan Markle actually was pregnant and gave birth to Archie. There's legitimate evidence out there that the bump grows and reduces. That can sometimes happen as baby moves. But I think most people who see Meghan Markle dropping in heels, knees together, have raised concerns about that. And that's where these rumours have stemmed from, the weirdness surrounding the bump. But then you factor into the equation about the strangeness surrounding Archie's birth. If you weren't around, there was weird inconsistencies surrounding who knew what, whether or not she had actually given birth, whether or not Archie had arrived, where he was born. The palace was completely blindsided. The press was completely blindsided and told that she was in labour. And then, in fact, that wasn't the case at all. In fact, the baby had been born. The fact that they also said in Spare, I say they, it's Harry's book, but I'm sure she had a handle in it, that she was born. What? Oh, God. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain is an absolute scatterbrain today. He was born in the Portland hospital. Now, during their documentary/reality TV show, Meghan revealed why there was no official photo shoot on the hospital steps after Archie was born. And she said that they couldn't do a photo call at the Portland hospital because there was an emergency room. Well, that's a complete lie. There is no emergency room at the Portland hospital. In fact, it is well known that if there is an emergency and you've chosen to have your baby at the Portland, you'll be transferred to an NHS hospital. And in fact, midwives who have worked at the Portland have come out and said, nah, that couldn't have happened at all. There's no emergency room there. It's actually, if anything goes wrong in your labour, Portland Hospital is not the place to be. And the fact that she was classed as a geriatric pregnancy, that's no offence on her, it's just a medical term. You wouldn't take that risk, would you? So that in itself was a big fat lie. We also had the lie about there being a fire in Archie's room when they were in South Africa. There was this big hoo-ha that a fire had broken out, when in fact journalists that were actually on that tour said nothing of the sort happened. I don't recall any fire engines or anything like that, but it's just to garner sympathy, in my own personal opinion. One of the very few times that she's actually been caught out in a very public lie, and it has been spoken about in the media, besides people like Dan Wootton and Piers Morgan, who have been calling her out for a while on her lies, or their lies, was when him said they had no input on finding freedom, when it turns out they in fact did. That they had given notes to one of their aides to discuss directly with Omid Scooby, and she actually had to publicly apologise to the court. Which obviously this very funny headline was why it came about. Little Miss Forgetful. That was when she was publicly called out for lying. But of course this gets skated around and it's just, oh well, she forgot. No, she must have known. And she couldn't have forgotten that she took part in Finding Freedom. That's a big fat lie. Speaking of Finding Freedom, we have the little ditty that Omid Scooby wrote with regards to their first meeting, Meghan and Harry. It says, naturally both participants in this blind date did their homework with a thorough Google search. Harry, who scoped out Meghan on social media, was interested. I'm going to go back to that Oprah interview where she said that her mental health was so bad that she nearly did something quite drastic, but nobody would help her, and that Harry couldn't find help anywhere, when it has been a matter of fact that Harry has set up, along with Prince William and Princess Catherine, the Heads Together initiative. And in fact, Meghan, together with Harry and William and Catherine, launched Shout, text message service for those who suffer from mental health. Now, this was in May 2019. You're telling me if you helped set up a text message service that helps people struggling with mental health in their time of crisis. You couldn't use that own service. She said that she went to HR and she was told that she couldn't get help because of who she is. That is a massive delusion of grandeur there in itself. I think the most hilarious lie of all was the New York catastrophic car chase, when in fact the police department of New York and the mayor came out and said, what? No, that didn't happen. And they were very publicly slated for it. That was my own personal favourite. And the memes from that were hilarious. Remember the Lion King premiere when apparently one of the cast members said that, I still laugh at this, that people of South Africa danced in the streets celebrating her and Harry's wedding, like they did when Nelson Mandela was freed. Nobody ever said that, and the cast have come out and said, don't remember having that conversation. Nobody has publicly come out and said, yeah, that was me. So she either lied about it, or that person is so embarrassed that they don't actually want to publicly admit that they said that. Then in October of 2018, when she spoke at the University of South Pacific in Fiji, where she said that she paid her own way through college. Well, we know that that's not true because Thomas Markle has actually shown receipts. Let's not forget also the blood diamonds that she said that she knew nothing about, when in fact she did. I've done a video, as you probably can tell, I've done many videos over the lies over the years. And I just thought it was a really good idea to compile all these, the biggest lies of all. And if you click on the right hand corner up at the top there, it will take you to a playlist where I think I've got the majority of the lies on video if you actually want to go into more greater detail. But this is just a video to kind of summarise and just show how shockingly bad it has been that she has just lied and lied and lied and lied. It's constant. The LA riots, for example, where she said that she was present in 1992 when the LA riots were taking place. She said that she could recall the curfew and rushing back home, and on that drive home seeing ash fall from the sky and smelling the smoke, and seeing people run out of buildings carrying bags and looting. And in fact, in a Vanity Fair interview, she recalled these memories. And she said that seeing ash, which she thought at the time was snow. Well, Tom Bauer, in his book, claimed that Meghan wasn't even in Los Angeles when the riots took place, as her father, Thomas Markle, had ensured that she didn't see it. During the afternoon riots started, he drove her to Palm Springs, wrote Mr. Bauer. There were serious doubts that Meghan, what's with me today? Saw any violence, not even the minor looting near the ABC studios where Thomas Markle worked. After 5 days, the curfew was lifted and they returned to Los Angeles. We have another lie with regards to the banyan tree. Now, this was claimed that after Meghan Markle unfortunately suffered a miscarriage, Harry says in Spare, we left the hospital with our unborn child. Tiny package. We went to a secret place only we knew, under a spreading banyan tree. While Meghan wept, I dug a hole with my hands and set the tiny package softly on the ground. There is absolutely no way any hospital will let you take an unborn baby away from hospital. You would not be able to do that. In fact, it is illegal. You either have the unborn child released to a funeral home and you have a funeral, or you don't. There is no way you are handed a package. I could seriously go on and on and on with regards to this, but time is ticking on. Have I covered the most offensive lies of Meghan Markle? Have I missed any out? Do you want me to continue this? Because I could seriously talk on and on with regards to the lies that she's told. Allegedly, of course. I say allegedly, but quite a lot of the lies have actually been proven as lies. So I would like to know your thoughts on this matter. Do you think... Why do you actually think that she lies so much? Why is it so easy to disprove these lies? She's supposed to be an intelligent woman. I don't know. But I am very interested to know what the biggest lie of all, in your personal opinion, it was that came out of her mouth that could easily be disproven is. Have I missed it out? Because I'm sure I have. I've racked my brain. I've gone through social media. I've gone through Reddit. I've gone through all sorts of news articles to try and pinpoint the biggest, most fabricated lies of Meghan Markle, but I'm very interested to know what you guys think. As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.